spirits, souls gathered in the space and time, spirits of like mind. In vibrational sync, we must be working together, creatively, in harmony, cooperatively. Kindred spirits, mutants of the norm, prototypes of a new form, followers of a new way, heralds of a new day. Kindred spirits, nucleus of a new Aquarian breed who must live with life and word and deed, see and take heed, the flowering of the African seed. Kindred spirits, fellow travelers on the path, knowledge of self and mastery of your craft. Knowledge of self and mastery of your craft.
I am black as the night, from which the light of a new day descends. I am the past, the present, and the future. I am the anointed of heaven. I am what I am. I am the blended colors of light that lights the bridge into the new age. I am the seed, the plant, and the flower. I am the anointed of earth. I am that I am.
At this time, we want everyone to take a minute to slow down, to go within, to breathe deep, to breathe slowly. We're going to do a brief guided meditation. This meditation is to help us to pull our energies inward, tune in to that divine spirit that dwells within us because we are the divine temple. So sit relaxed, feet flat on the floor, rest your hands in your laps. Back straight but not stiff, and practice diaphragmatic breathing. Breathing from a diaphragm. When you inhale, diaphragm rises out. When you exhale, diaphragm goes in. So we want to breathe in slowly. And breathe out slowly. We want to breathe in slowly. And breathe out slowly. If you close your eyes, you're in a safe place. And just breathe. We're going to do a relaxation. We're going to bring the energy up from your feet all the way throughout your body to the top of your head. So with each inhalation, I want you to tense up that part of the body that I identify. And each exhalation, release all tension from that part of your body. Starting with your feet. On the inhale, tense up your toes, and then relax the toes. On the inhale, tense up the ankles, and relax the ankles. Tense up the calves. Relax the calves. Tense up the knees. Relax the knees. Tense up the thighs. Relax the thighs. Tense up the pelvic. Relax the pelvic. tense up the lower area, visualize the pulsating red luminous light filling the bottom half of your body. Feel this energy circulating. With each inhalation, the light gets brighter and brighter. Move this red energy bottom of the spine up to the lower abdomen. And visualize this red light transforming into an orange color. A bright, luminescent orange radiating. With each inhalation, the light fills the lower abdomen. All negativity, all pain, all inharmony leaves with each exhalation. From the red to the orange, move up to the navel area and see it change to a yellow. A pulsating yellow. With each inhalation, it spreads throughout the body. Each exhalation, all infirmities, all negativities throughout the breath. So from the red to the orange to the yellow, now to the middle of the body, see the green. Visualize in the mind's eye these brilliant colors on top of one another, pulsating with vibrant energy. With each life force, fill that building rainbow with energy. From the green, move to the blue around the heart. Feel your heart cool, strong, and calm. On each inhalation, fill yourself with energy. On each exhalation, let the energy pass out. Now see the blue move up to the throat. Pulsate in the throat area. Recognize and remember that all words attract back to you that which is projected. Be conscious and vigilant of your words. And from move up to the head, to the brow, visualize indigo, encompassing your whole head in indigo glow. For your intuitive mind. How many of us listen and pay attention to our intuitive mind? They say the intuitive mind is the mind of the soul that knows. Visualize the rainbow of the red, the orange, the yellow, the green, the blue, the indigo. Now move the energy to the top of the head, to the crown, and visualize a violet. See this violet open up like a flower and send energy to envelop your whole body in radiant energy. Slowly breathe in the positive and breathe out the negative. Just breathe in the positive and breathe out the negative. All negativity, just let it go. Just feel the spirit, the life force that's within you pulsating harmonically. Radiation of the light to stimulate the night, to expand the mind and time and space to fulfill the potential of the human race. Indigo glow directs the flow to bridge the gap of high and low, to point the way by word and deed, to tame and bridle the mighty steed. Traverse the straight and narrow path, keeping the middle pillar in your grasp, to sail upon the melanin sea, to the pool of black gold at the crown of the plexus tree. Cadent rhythms of fire and light transform mortals into luminescent beings of light. Build the temple of 7 tiers through the transmission of ancient lore, from mouth to ear. For all those who hear the cry and decipher the message of the inner eye, climb the ladder to the top and and forevermore cease to rot. Living the virtues will sever the chain that binds the soul to the material plane, but before the severance can become complete, the shadowy dragon you must meet and defeat. As you clean the slate of negative deeds past and triumphantly achieve your Herculean task, your spiritual guide you will find and no longer be deceived by the lower mind. To spiritualize matter is the ultimate goal. The initiatory process provides the mold in which a regenerated self will unfold. Tune the pineal to the rhythm of the spheres and move to the beat not heard with ears. Knowledge of self will dissolve all your fears. It is within the grasp of man to comprehend the cosmic plan. By following the golden thread out of the labyrinth of confusion, you will be led. And by drinking with the water bearer in the upper room, you will receive your lotus in full bloom.
Y'all ain't convinced me enough. Y'all better show me a heck of a lot more.
All right.
My name is Baba. I'm a storyteller. I play the traditional instrument called the kora. The kora is a 21-string harp of the griots of West Africa. Let's not call them griots. Let's call them who they were. They call themselves jelly or jolly. The jelly of the jolly was responsible for teaching the princes to become kings, for giving them the knowledge of their ancestry, their history, for making sure that they became the men and the women in the society that they were supposed to become. And the way that they did it was through stories. For example, if we were a village and we spoke the same language, which we're not, every once in a while you might hear me say the words, bati or bati. When you heard those words, you would say, bati. So if you ever hear me say bati or bati, you would know to say bati. That's right. And if I say it again, bati or bati, you would say bati. All right, it's getting hot. There we go. Now it's family. Bati or bati? Bati. Okay, now let me give you a clue to this. Whichever way you are feeling is the way you give it back. So let's say I'm talking to the brothers, okay? Let's say brothers. And I'm telling y'all a story, and it's about this beautiful woman. I want you to picture her in your mind's eye. She is as beautiful, but not as beautiful as the woman you brought here with you. And you say, brother, this woman was beautiful. Brothers, batio bati, but also, what if I'm talking to the sisters and I'm describing that brother, you know, that fine, tall, dark brother who's got that good job. And I say, sisters, batio bati. Bati. So now you know. If we were a traditional village, you would know that's how you respond. So whichever way you're feeling at the moment that I call on you, that's what you give back. So if I call on the brothers, brothers respond. If I call on the sisters, sisters respond. If I just say it, everybody responds. One time, before time, going back in time, before there was such a thing as time, this is going way, way back. This is going so far back in time, there was no such thing as email. This is going so far back in time, it was during a period of Africa's golden age. There was an empire called Segu. Many of you probably heard of Segu. And Segu, during the time in the 17th century, there was a king. His name was Dajera. They called him Mansa Dajera. Mansa meaning king in the language of the Bamba. Mansa Dajera was a ruler amongst rulers, a king amongst kings. He had 6 jeli who performed for him. All of them were masters of certain instruments. All of them can sing. And all of them had extensive knowledge of the history of West Africa. Batio Bati. Bati. Now, there was one griot in particular, but we'll call him Jelly. His name was Jeliba Tukuru Sidaba. Now, if you put ba on the end and you say Jelly, ba, that means great griot. He was a favorite griot amongst Mansa Dajera. Now, he was so good at playing the kora that the king would call him from his village. You see, he lived in a village called Balaju. And in Balaju, he would come riding his horse, and he would have his kora strapped to his back. And when the king would call on him, he would come in singing, and the king would be there, and the king would love every time this great singer would come and sing. Now, every time he came to sing, Jelly don't sing for free. The king would reward him. The king would give him gold, cowrie shells, jewelry. The king would give him land. The king would give him cattle. Sokuro Sidaba had everything that you could possibly imagine. And on top of that, Sokuro Sidaba had the finest wife in the land. Brothers, do y'all want to know what she looked like? Bati or Bati? Bati. Let me tell you what she looked like. She had lips. This sister, right? She had lips like this sister right here. Bati or Bati? Bati. Yes. And a smile. Ooh. When his wife would smile, she had a smile kind of like this sister right here. Brothers, Bati or Bati? Bati. Yeah, she was fine. Now, on top of that, she was very, very intelligent woman. Yes, intelligent. Like this one right here. Brothers, she had what brothers call the complete package. Brothers, Batil Bati. Now, in spite of all that, Sokuro Sidaba was not a very happy man. Let me tell you why. He was a griot. He had been born into a family of griots, and his father taught him how to play the kora, and his father's father taught the father how to play the kora. So they had come up as a family of jelly, and that was the work that they did. But even though you were a jelly, even though you could have the king's ear and speak to him anytime you wanted, anytime you could represent your nation with other nations, there was one problem for Sokuro Sidaba. He was a jelly. He was not a noble. Now this bothered him because he looked at his possessions. He said, I have more gold than the richest man of richest men. I have more cattle. I have more land. I have more calories. I have more of anything than any noble, but yet and still they treat me less than a noble. This made him very sad. So one day, Sokuro Sidaba went out and he took his kora, and he took it and he smashed it on a rock. And he went to his very beautiful wife and he said, wife, I have decided that I no longer want to be a griot. No. He couldn't call himself a noble. but he carried himself as one. So he went to Dajeta, and he told Dajeta, King, I have decided that I no longer want to be a jelly. I do not want to play the kora anymore. And Dajeta said, if the kora does not want to produce its music, no one can force it. Batio Bati. So he went back home, and when he got back home, a couple of people who worked for him, they ran up and they said, a couple of cows are sick. He said, oh, give them away to someone or send them away. A couple of cows means nothing. I have a lot. So he sent them away. But those two sick cows had infected other cows, and those sick cows had infected other cows, until you know how many cows were left on Dajeta's farm? Now, somehow, this illness had jumped from the cows to the sheep. Do you know how many sheep were left on Dajeta's farm within that year? 0. Do you know how many chickens were left? None. Before you knew it, Dajeta had no livestock. Now, he didn't worry about that because he grew millet. And as he was growing the millet, he figured they would harvest. But something happened. A great fire consumed his millet field. Now, Dajeta started to think, what's going on? And over that year, he lost more and more and more. And do you think it could have gotten any worse? Batio Bati? It did. Dajeta went blind and lost his sight. Now, just when you think you're at the end of your rope and you think it can't get any worse, there was this good-looking brother who was a blacksmith who lived in the village of Jalabu, who had his eye on Dajeta's wife. Now, sisters, would you like to know what this brother looked like? Yeah? All right. This brother, he was very distinguished looking. Yeah, he had that kind of hair that women like. You know those. Wait a minute now. He had hair kind of like this brother right here. Would you stand up, brother? Sisters, Batio Bati. That's right. Not only did he have hair like him, but this brother, he was built. He was built. He was very strong because when you work on those irons all day and you're hitting and hammering and working hard, you get some muscle on you. So, could you stand up there? Now, he was built like this brother right here. Sisters, Batio Bati. Not only was he good looking and fine, not only did he have the hair that all the women liked, but he had this distinguished looking white and black goatee. Brother, could you stand up, please? Sisters, Batio Bati. Well, I tell you what, this blacksmith approached her and he said, your husband has lost his mind. He was a great griot. He was great. I mean, he played the kora for the king. He had everything, and now he is losing everything. And look, you are a beautiful woman. You don't need to be with a man like that. You need a man like me. Now, y'all thought we weren't macking back in the 17th century, huh? Batio Bati. And what do you think that sister did? She said, bye, Dajeta. And she went with that muscular, dark-skinned, long-haired, black skin. Batio Bati. The only one left was Kurusiraba, was his son. His son was the only one left. Now, after the whole year had passed and Kurusiraba was blind and he couldn't see, he had lost everything, he went into his room and he told his son, I have 4 cowrie shells left. Take these and buy these items. His son went and he bought these items and brought them back into Kurusiraba's room. Kurusiraba sat down in this room in the darkness and began to work with his aims. And he began to carve and pull and push until finally Kurusiraba had created another kora. Yeah, another one. He had destroyed his first one. Now he had created another one. And he told his son, tomorrow we leave for the palace of Dajeta. So that night, his son didn't sleep too well. They were going to go see the king the next day. His son led him on a long walk from Jalabu all the way to Segura. And when they got there, they got to the palace gates. When they got to the palace gates, he stood there, and they wouldn't let him in. The soldier said, old, ragged, blind man, who are you? He said, I am Jelly Bob. They said, no. They went and brought the counselors out. They went and bought some of the elders. He had to say it again. His clothes were tattered. He was blind. He didn't look like the man he looked once before. And they said, surely you cannot be Sokokusira. And he began to pray. He said, he is Sokokusira. And they took him to the king. And when he stood before the king, he said, I am Sokokusira. And the king could not believe it. He said, King, I have bought a song for you. It comes from the pain of my rejection of myself. Yama, 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 binberuna, yama, loko, yama, taikuna, Yama, yama, yama. Barakalata, Oluma, Barakalata, Bariana. Yama, yama, yama. Yama, 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 binberuna, yama, loko, yama, taikuna. How do y'all think that made the king feel? The king felt good. He had never heard one of his jelly play like that before. He asked all the other 5 jelly, can you learn from Sokolusiraba to play like that? And they said, we will try. He gave Sokolusiraba more cattle. He said, I welcome you back to my palace. You will once again be my #1 jelly. He gave him not only cattle, but sheep, more poultry. He gave him more land than he had before. And then before, when you thought he couldn't give him any more, he said, Sokolusiraba, I have a pronouncement to make. You, the greatest jelly of all, will own the village of Jalapu. Bati, oh, Bati. Bati. Woo! Bati. Now, Sokolusiraba, it is said, you learn a lot from life looking backwards. But it's too bad we live it forward. Bati, oh, Bati. Bati. So Sokolusiraba have learned a lesson that we are still learning to this day. I look around this room, I see some beautiful people. And all of you have something to give. You have a reason for being here. And then when you turn your back on that reason, you wonder why things go wrong. The proverb says we start out as fools and we grow wise through experience. Now, I've shared with you my story, so this makes us all friends. And this is how my story ends.
lies, shackled with a narrow view of what to do. Rebels in hell destroy rather than build in their haste to express the rage that they feel. Call forth the wise heads, the builders true. Plan to resurrect the suffering. It's on me and you. What are we going to do? To destroy the grip of the capitalist fiends with their racist propaganda machines as they still destroy other people's dreams. Calling the builders, work to be done, battles to be fought, a war to be won. Calling the builders with strategic plans where once ignorance and poverty, new, sustainable communities will stand. A divine community. Calling the builders. A humanistic order has been ordered and is in order to give order to disorder the present order of the day, to create a new way for all to play. And what do you say? A or nay? At this time, we're having our gathering, our meeting of the students of Black Gnostic Studies.
Professor,
Yes.
where do we come from?
Where do we come from?
Yes.
Where do we come from? Why do you ask that question?
Well, it's a question that I've thought about, and I've wondered about, and I've heard about, but I don't have an answer.
Do you have a question?
I have a couple.
You have a couple. Only a couple? And what would that be?
Well, it relates to her. Why are we here?
Why are we here?
Yeah.
Where do we come from? Why are we here? You have another question?
Well, where are we going?
Where are we going? Okay. Where do we come from? Why are we here? Where are we going?
How we get there?
And how do we get there? How do we get there? Okay, good question. Now, what I'm going to do is share the answer. Okay? This is the answer. This tells you where you come from, why are you here, where you're going, and how to get there. You've forgotten, you no longer remember the ancient symbols. Forgotten, you don't remember the ancient symbols. Well, let's go on a journey. The circle represents the all, the zero, the nothing, the void, the great womb of the universe out of which all things come. It is the infinite circle that embraces all that is, all that will be, all that was. It is a symbol. These are symbols. You don't take the symbols literally. They're just tools to help you tune in to an idea. And so you see the circle because the circle is also a cycle. And so the circle represents zero. Zero is nothing. So if you have nothing, it also means you have what? You have everything. So within the zero, all that is possible exists in the zero. And out of the zero comes everything. And then each thing represents something. Every possibility is something. And it's an infinite number of possibilities. But inside everything is the one. Because everything comes out of the oneness of the all. So if you have all possibility, which is potential, inherent in potential is what? If something is potential, what does that mean? When we have a baby, what is a baby? What is a baby going to be? It's going to grow. It's going to be something, right? So within that baby, the future adult already exists in the baby. But it's only potential. So in the nature of the universe, everything that exists existed originally in potential, in the zero, the noon, the great womb. But to have completion, you have to have both sides. So if you have nothing, what's the opposite side of nothing? Everything. And so then you can have a line, right? The two possibilities. You have non-being, and then you would have being, right? Those are two sides. Nothing and everything. Non-manifested, manifested. Potential, actual. So that creates two possibilities, creates a line. And everything possible, everything that exists is a point along that line. So then you have a line. Right? But now you have two opposites. If you have two opposites, you know what's inherent anytime you have two opposites. No? If you have day and night, you have to, does it immediately go from day to night? Does it immediately go from child to adult? Does it immediately go from nothing to something? No. So you have an in-between. Anytime you have two opposites, you have an in-between. You have a middle. You have a third factor that connects the two things together. So then you have a third factor that connects the two things together. You have a trinity. So you have a masculine or a father that initiates action. Then you have the feminine that receives the action. And then you have the offspring. Because the synthesis or the reconciliation or the combination of the two opposites create a third. And we know this is what? Father, mother, offspring, the Trinity. Joseph, Mary, Jesus, Osiris, Isis, Peru. All these various trinities. You have action, reaction, and synthesis, positive and negative and neutral. This is the nature of the universe they call the Godhead. For the spirit to manifest, it has to manifest through a trinity. Because if you just have two, you have opposites. And it will tear it apart. So you have to have a reconciliation, a third thing. And so then, human beings are made up of what? We are what? Flesh and bones? Well, let me give you this.
Spirit, soul.
If this is the Godhead or spirit, which is potential, that is moving to be actual, then you have what?
The opposite.
You have the opposite. That creates what? Creates a square. Also, a cross. A square is a cross. A cross is a square. A square relates to matter, the material plane, the four elements, the four directions. So then, you have a trinity. You have a square. And then you have the dots, which creates a line between the two. Right? Now I'm going to come back to this, and I'm going to show you one more thing, and I'm going to show you. Yes, even if you don't understand everything I'm saying, just keep the symbols in your mind. Because by reflecting repetitively on the symbols, you will understand. So we have one, right? Above everything or surrounding everything is the zero, the cosmic womb. And out of that you have the one. And then from the one you have the polarity, which generates two. And from the two you have the trinity that generates three. And from the generation of the trinity you have the four. Right? So you have the one, the two, the three, and the four. These equal to what? The dot, the line, the plane. You know what a plane is? We'll further into this. But now, let's go back to this. We are, what are we? What are you?
Spirit.
Your spirit? That was your spirit?
Well, I'm spirit manifested in human form.
Spirit, you've been studying somewhere?
I tried.
They say we are spirits in the material, right? Souls evolving through bodies, right? Okay, so you ask, who are we, right? Who are we? Now, so we have a physical body, right? Why do we need a physical body?
To house your spirit.
To house it? Really? Does the spirit need a house?
Well, not necessarily.
Does it need a house?
No.
Really? What do we say? In the beginning was potential. It's moving to try to become actual. How does it move to become actual? It has to involution, evolution, right? They say we were once light, or pure spirit is pure energy or light. And then we went into what? Particles, right? Which is polarity, right? Then it went into atoms, which is a three, the nucleus, electron, neutron, electrons, right? Then you have molecules, right? Which is four. This is a three, this is a two, this is a one. Then for molecules, what we have? Vegetable. From vegetable, we have animal. And from animal, we have consciousness. Because basically, who are we? We're what? Animals with consciousness, right? Sometimes we forget that, right? That we are animals with supposedly consciousness. We're trying to have consciousness. Okay. So then the question is that if God, the creator, pure energy, pure light, pure spirit, is on a journey. And so it has to evolve appropriate bodies to develop consciousness or awareness so it can realize itself. So that means that we are spirit becoming. Now the question is, what are you becoming? You know, when we, like you talking about we bees. We bees, what do you be? You bees what? You be about we right. So we have a physical body, right? We have physical, we have energetic, right? Because everything, you're pure energy, really. Molecules circulating, blood flow, nerves creates energy field. You have emotional, your feelings. You have thinking, which is really they call lower thinking, right? Lower thinking is what kind of thinking? Called a concrete mind. Concrete is what? How big the car is, how buff the brother was, how high his hair looked, how big his paycheck was, or how round that system was. Or whatever. You know, how many bills we got, right? How much money we don't have. You know, how much food we ate, how much the bill at the restaurant cost. Concrete numbers. Okay. But then we have another part of ourselves we call higher thinking or abstract. Right? This is when we think about higher things. What is the purpose of what I'm eating? What's inside what I'm doing? What's the purpose of the relationship? What's the purpose of this engagement? What's the purpose of why do I wear what I wear? Why am I studying what am I studying? The inside, right? Think about the higher philosophical concepts. Then you have intuition. Your intuition is actually that greater knowing. They say intuition is actually the voice of the soul, of the spirit inside of you. How many of us really listen to our intuition? It's there all the time. But usually we're down here with all this noise, so we don't hear the messages it's given us. And then we have pure will. That's the divine truth that all things come from. So you have a lower self and a higher self. And then you have this bridge. They call this bridge the Anakarana, or the Rainbow Bridge of the Bridge. And basically what it represents, the process of changing your focus of attention from your lower self to your higher self. things, what is your point of orientation? Is it this way? Or is it that way? Where's heaven and where's hell? It's not in the sky, it's not on the ground. Heaven is in your spiritual consciousness, the higher mind, and hell is when you dwell in the lower self. All these things are talking about you because we're the divine temple. So, how do you build this bridge? You build this bridge through initiation, through consciously engaging the study of how to gain control of your physical, your emotional, and your mental bodies. Your health, your diet, your nutrition, your exercise, how much water you drink, you get sunshine, what kind of air do we breathe, all these things affect your energy, your physical, your energetic body, your emotions, your virtues. Do you live a virtuous life or are you racked, running around, somebody's using the word virtues, and that's not being stuck up. You can still have fun with life, but the whole thing is your orientation. And then you're thinking. What's on your mind? What do you spend thinking? What do you think about all the time? Do you take time out to really think about higher meaning of life? Do you meditate? Do you tune in and contemplate and listen to your inner self? So you can then understand the divine will. So then the question was, what was the question?
I got a question. Now,
We got to summarize first.
Okay.
Summarize first.
Okay.
The first question was, where do we come from?
Where did we come from?
I gave you these symbols. So we come from spirit. Right?
Right.
Why are we here? Why are we here?
Why are we here?
You still got why we're here?
To evolve.
Because if we're spirits or souls evolving through bodies, we're here to gain higher and higher levels of consciousness. How much of your potential do you use? At 100%, how much of your potential do you use? How much? 5%, 3%, 10%, 20%? 0.0? How much? About 5%. Some people say 10, some people say 3. Understand that. If you only use 5%, what does that mean? That means 95% is unused. You need to really think about that. When we say we can't do something, we say we have issues we can't overcome, they say we create our own prison by our thinking. We have unlimited potential if we unchain our minds. So while we're here to learn the lesson that life has to teach us so that we can come into recognition of who we are. And where are we going? Well, if we started off here, or if we started off as light, where are we going? We're going back to light. So we are spirits becoming the manifestation of spirit. So that's why we're here. How do we get there? Through the initiation. So you now have a better understanding of the circle, the dot, the line, the triangle, and the square.
You know, I mean, I do, but, you know, all these words, you have words for this and for that, and what's with all these words? Can you help me, Professor?
Well, this piece came to me about words. Words. It says words. You want to know about the words? The words that penetrate to the heart of the matter, deep below the surface of plastic projection, to the cause of the effects. Every cause has an effect. If you're not liking the effects, change your cause. Wrong cause, wrong effect. Right cause, correct effect. Okay? The words that indicate to liberate. The mind stuck on the behind, the mind glued to blue tubes, consuming junk food, of body, mind, and spirit. Do you hear it? The words, the words, the birds, the word taking flight, can fly with me on the wings of thought, deep thinking minds. Follow your mind, and your behind will follow. Who's behind you follow? What words are on your mind? Can you follow these words? Words that stimulate corrective action from reaction to accurate reflection of the stagnation of the human condition. Partitioned into boxes within a circular universe. Jagged edges, automations, and anal retentive spaces. Where it's all about a smooth flow. Let the crap go. Let bygones be gone so you can move on and get your groove on. about it? Do you know what your it is? Do you know what your it is? It is the word in you. All the yous that constitute the we that make up humanity, human, it's you. Human, it's you. The word made flesh is seeking to be the word made true. Being true to self. Do you know yourself? Do you know you got a self? A higher self, a lower self, emotional self, physical self, intuitional self. Do you know? Do you want to know? You ever wonder what it's all about? It's about the word. The word and the way to the consciousness, the cosmic seed, the new aquarian logo. Humanity, know yourself. You, man, know yourself. Come to know the voice in the silence. Sitting in the calm and the eye of the storm, feel the noise, achieving the poise, and the word will let you know what to do. The Spirit of the Holy Ghost. The words of the true you. Let the truth move you. Nurture the resurrection of the offspring of the divine, the higher mind. Can you decipher these symbols and these signs? Can you decipher these symbols and these signs? Words that. Words that really resonate to propagate the multiplication of themselves, to repopulate the planet with the love of words made true, love of self, love of life, love of kind, humankind, every kind of mineral, plant, and animal, all creations, expressions, and extensions of the one divine mind. Words. 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 We are all creations of the thoughts and the mind of God, divine words, souls evolving through bodies, seeking the light to be true. Come to know yourself, then be true to yourself, and light will be true to you. Come to know yourself, then be true to yourself, and light will be true to you. And that's the last word. Okay, what we want to do now, we want to bring up everybody, because part of this, because I do a lot of teaching, and the kind of teaching I do, it's hard for people to maintain. I came out of, probably my main school of thought came from the Aquarian Spiritual Center with Dr. Lagan, Black Gnostic Studies. He has a 20-year course, right? 20-year course. You know, in the ancient mysteries from Kemet or Africa, the mastermind, the course of the mastermind was a 40-year course. First 20 years it took you to get prepared, get your mind prepared to really go deep within your own self, to really see the truth. And they say in traditional African culture and most indigenous culture, for a person to become a full-fledged operative adult in society, they have to go through initiation. Because a human is not made, they're created. That means you have to go through a process of being created as a human being. Because just naturally, you would be more biological, right? And so, where's the people? Where's the folks? Where is Queen? Where's Joanne? Come on up here, y'all. I want to introduce the people who share the time. And then we want to engage in an interactive dialogue, you know, in terms of we want to get some feedback. This is a work in progress. We're attempting to, it's a number of things. We're really, there's a heavy cloud or a dark cloud that is gathering, not only over America, but over the planet. And it's very important that we become liberated beings. And so, if you just give a lecture presentation, of course, people don't want to just hear a lecture presentation. So what we're trying to do is do a more creative thing, to really share the different words and things with you. Because, you know, we play rhythm with drums, and, you know, people can smile and can get into that. Before I talk anymore, I want to introduce the people. You know, I want to introduce Queen, who did Libation. Stand up, sister. Relax. And Queen is kind of a student of ritual and ceremony. I mean, she's studying yoga, she's into science of mind, she's into traditional indigenous culture, she's into sweat lodges, Native American tradition, African drum and dance. So she's really, see, In Kindred Spirits, it says, knowledge of self and the mastery of your craft. See, each of us come with a gift to give. You know, we talked about who are we. I asked a question in my class. I asked them, I said, when you say I am, what do you see? Most of us see our personal histories. You know, when I was, you know, I got a bike, I got a car, I got a job, or whatever. That is who you really are. And it's a very important question because unless you shift your point of identification, you will continue to operate from the other state of mind. Because a lot of us have information and ideas in our head, we haven't translated them to our heart. It's the heart that's weighted in the balance. And so, how is that connected to what I'm doing? I'm trying to speak to your souls because it's kindred spirits. All of us know things. We have a tendency to be automatons in anal retentive spaces. But it's all about a smooth flow, letting the craft go. You know, let bygones be gone so you can move on and get your groove on. Sometimes we get that feeling we want to move on, we trap ourselves back in. You know, we hold the crap in as opposed to letting it go. So, that's what time it is, because if we don't do it, there will be no examples on how to do it. And we have the experiences that we have for a purpose. Nothing occurs by accident, by chance. Everything is a part of a higher order of things. The question is, do you listen? One of the virtues is being obedient to the call. All of us are called. You were called here. You know, you didn't come here by yourself. You didn't create yourself. So what created you? Whoever created you called you here for a purpose. It's nothing arbitrary. So each and every one of us have a gift to give to life. The world called you here to give your gift to help heal itself, like your body. When your body gets sick, it calls what it needs to heal itself. The earth is crying out. The masses, millions of people, almost billions of people are crying out. All this suffering that's going on. And it's all about thoughts, right? And I'm saying that because and I could get to the metaphysical stuff about cycles and what's happening and because we're going into some very dark times. We're going into a period that's going to be very similar to what was going down in Germany. Just modern. It's not going to be exactly the same, but it's going to be just as intense and just as devastating. Because the forces are gathering, and they got little interpretations on Scripture. They're using Scripture, but the little interpretation of Scripture as justification to do what they're going to do. Unless we bring a counter force, a counter spiritual force, we're not going to be able to neutralize this. And so this is kind of it's interesting because before I left, Queen called us, they had a shadow convention. Inauguration, right, outside the Capitol in Washington, because, you know, Bush, I didn't even know or remember that Bush was being inaugurated today. Right. Yesterday. Okay, yesterday? Because, you know, where I'm at. Right. But the point is, there are some very insidious forces that they're already chipping away a lot of things. There's a lot of laws being put on the books that people are not talking about. But at the appropriate time, they're going to be able to stand up and say, this is law. Listen to what they're saying. They say, we're going to follow the letter of the law. So they're putting all these laws on the books. They will be able to stand up and implement these things and justify the implementation because it's written in the book. And so a part of that is to liberate our spirit. So, I talk a lot. So I want to introduce Joanne, which is Joanne Sears, which is Asha's Baba, Eric Sears, his wife. Mr. John Beatty. Good. John Beatty, over on Tools of Perfection. The altar was put together by our altarist, Sister Cheryl. Where's Cheryl? She's outside, downstairs or something. I know, she likes to be behind the scenes. But one thing on the back table, I just completed the first in a series of broadsides. Probably since 1991, I wrote about 60 articles or knowledge broker, from compiling those in booklets and kind of expanding on them. So every 2 months, my goal is to come out with a new booklet. So the first one is on drum and dance. What I try to do with this book on drum and dance is really talk about the science, the metaphysical or inner science. The African culture was always based on metaphysics, contrary to what people say. African culture, anywhere you go and you see indigenous people or African people, indigenous people, their culture was based upon spirit, on understanding of spiritual law. And so unless we kind of bring those things back into the forefront, now if you talk about metaphysics or esoteric, they think that's some kind of pseudoscience. They think it's demonic, defined by who? And so the issue is, if we are truly spirits in the physical, that means these other spirits in the physical have no greater authority over us than we have over ourselves. If we don't stand up and start to create the world that we know we should create, then we leave a space for this other world to overtake us. And as we study this material, I teach every Thursday at the Cultural Center, and we get into the power of sound, color, shape, and form. And then if you take that and go then walk through our communities, what colors are dominant? I'm talking about in the architecture, what form? How much greenery is there? What kind of air is there? You know, what sounds do you hear? All these things are shaping the consciousness of our environment. So anyway, I'll get off this. I want to introduce Brother Eric Sears. We were coming by Zara's and we said, oh, Zara's has a place upstairs. And I've been talking about this idea. This is a work in progress. We want to really do some other staging with it, some lighting, some other things. But Eric said, oh, well, I didn't book the place for the 21st. So it's on. And so,
Because he had been talking about it for about 8 months.
and so, I had to move forward. But you have to have people around you. You know, it's like a group thing. It's really about a group. We're talking about kindred spirits. As you're moved, you know, we're really inviting others to let us know what you're doing so that we can come together and really start doing some innovative and creative things so that we can take this and get it more to the masses, you know. And because it's through the culture, through the rhythm and the rhyme, through the drama and the drum and the rhythm that you can really reach the people, through the stories, through the images, because eventually we got to get to multimedia. We did a school Friday.
Don't remind me of that.
And one of the teachers, and was a white teacher, she came up, she said, these children know zero about their culture. She said zero. This is the year 2001, our kids know zero about their culture.
And she wasn't only talking about African American children, she was talking about Hispanic children as well. She was talking about children, period, who know nothing of their culture, history, or traditions.
Right. So at this time, we want to open up to
Input.
yeah, input, feedback, questions. We're going to go over the program. And then there's a message behind everything. The rhythms we play, yes. Oh, excuse me, that's right. Sister Aaliyah. This woman, she's real shy. But you know how people a lot of times are real, they say still water runs deep. You get up on the stage and let her start singing, this whole other dimension comes out. You know, she has an incredible, I mean, like, it's like her voice is like an old woman, you know. And so we're trying to like, come on out, you know, come on out. And this is Sister Queen's daughter. Yeah. So we opened up with the rhythm, Kakilambi. Kakilambi is a rhythm that comes from the Baga people of Guinea. And it's a rhythm where all the tribes come together, really once every 7 years, a revitalization. They come together and they kind of join together for 7 days. And they engage kind of in this rhythmic mantra and meditation to revitalize and synchronize their spirits. So we kind of was running that theme through this because we're trying to bring you revitalization of your spirit. Then we opened up with a libation. We always try to open with a libation just to acknowledge and give respect to the source from which we come, our ancestors, ourselves, and those that are yet to come. And that's because it's like when you focus energy on something in a sincere way, you send out psychic energy into the universe, and the universe will feed you back that kind of energy. A lot of times in this culture, we get to going so fast, we don't take time out to really pay respect from a spiritual level. We kind of like, we become kind of westernized. We like, yeah, but that's really not that serious. Doing prayer over your food, sometimes like, yeah, that's not really that serious. That's just kind of like an outer thing. But no, it's very important. And the importance is the attitude you take in your own mind, because that's what activates and empowers you. So we did the libation. Then we went to the song. That's a Serapis meditation. That meditation was created by Dr. Lagon over at the Aquarian Spiritual Center, Black Gothic Studies. And really it's a meditation that is speaking to your inner spirit. It says, I'm black as a knife from which the light of the new day is seen. It's not talking about black, the race black. It's talking about the blackness of the mystery of life that you cannot penetrate through the mind, but you only can connect through the heart. And it talks about, I am the past, the present, and the future. I'm the anointed of heaven. I am what I am. I'm the blended colors of life that light the bridge into the new age. I'm the seed, the plant, and the flower. I'm the anointed of earth. I am what I am. So it's talking about those two dimensions of spirit and earth, and how we, the true we, the I am, is spirit. So it kind of ties you back to that. Then I did a Qi Kung exercise. And that was an exercise, that's a breathing exercise. What was really going on is, one, I was exercising my body and my spine. But I also was dealing with raising the energy up, because it was the center of energy, practicing raising it up and sending it out through my palm and up my spine. It's a breathing exercise that helps activate your chakras, your nervous system, your blood system, and also your meridian system. I just wanted to put that out there, because these basic exercises, although very simple, can have a strong impact on your life. So all of us should do something every day, whatever it is. Yes. Yes.
You know what? I'm not. This is a perfect opportunity for me to say something. They want you to sing again. Now, in our culture, in our tradition, the jelly were born to sing. And when the jelly, or the jelly muso meaning woman in the Bambara society, when the jelly woman sang, if you were within hearing distance of her singing, from the ancient times all the way to now, you would drop whatever you were doing. You would give whatever you had of value that was within your immediate, and you would go to that woman, and you would drop it at her feet. Now, y'all think I'm playing? Not too long ago, in fact, a few months ago, there were some griots who were traveling into Africa, from Guinea. They were playing in Senegal, they were playing the kora, the women were singing. And when they were singing, there were Africans all in the auditorium. The Africans rushed the stage. They lined up and started throwing money as the women speak. They started throwing jewelry at the kora. They started leaving fabric on stage, because that's their tradition. Now, the only way we do this is if I get up here and dance with a G-string on. Then y'all gonna put money, they gonna put money in that G-string. But I bring a beautiful sister up here like this to sing, and y'all sit still a little. I'm sorry, I have to say that, because, we read so much and we learn so much about our culture, but we don't get a chance to share it, so run on up, sister.
That's my dinner tonight. Okay. All right. I'm singing Summertime by Sarah Vaughan. Summertime, when the living is easy, fish are jumping
with Daddy and Mommy standing by, standing
Now, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Even though I didn't get a cent, y'all made me feel really, really good. I'm gonna tell you why. Because so often, everyone in this room, we are kindred spirits. We give of ourselves. And because we are kindred spirits, we know when we give of ourselves, we feed people. But it's rare to have someone feed us back. So when you came up here, you weren't only giving her money, you were feeding everyone else in the room. So this tradition stands. This is part of our culture. This is part of our tradition. So don't think you just did it this one time. I'm getting to go sing. No. No. What we'll do? Hey, I'm hungry too, so you're right on time. I have not eaten today. But what we want to do now, and what we should do, what we're trying to do, is we want to open it up. Because it's not only about us being up here performing or us doing our thing or you listening to what we have to say or our knowledge. Most of y'all are just as knowledgeable, if not more knowledgeable on a lot of things than we are. So what we do is we come together and give us your input on what just happened here today. Tell us how you feel, what you think, what went on. If we can improve it, tell us how we can improve it. We don't need to change a thing, say don't change a thing. Yeah, brother.
This is divine. I like the integration of the presentation, the storytelling, of course, the music and the dance, and the lecture incorporated as a whole was great. And the way it's reinforced symbolically behind. The way you talked about the chakras and you have that reinforced at least 3 times there on stage, that visual connection, that power of sound and sight. And the idea that you bring a very extremely powerful message and you bring it to a group of people in a performance venue. That's great. That's great. And I think, is this the first performance up here?
Yes, they've never had one up here before.
This is a divine way to initiate play.
Thank you.
You've done good.
All right, open up the floor, family. It's all about everybody. Yes, ma'am.
deny that you're, in the settlement, I was born in New Canada, right next to all German soldiers who settled there. And they even married in Canada, but the street is sad. But my grandfather made a journey, tried to get across the border into the United States, fighting for this identity because we were called Negroes there. He said, that's a bastard word. We need to be called African German, if you're going to include it all, English, whatever. I just want to say how grateful I am to say how similar and how deep the origins of education are, which are from Africa. I've just had the experience of praying for a man who would represent generic man, and God knows the answer to the needs of your heart before you ask. Diamond on 15 years ago, I was praying for a figurative soul that represents generic man out of Africa, first of mankind. He came into my life out of prayer, and you know he has the same understanding you have. He's a young man, but our teachings did coincide in so many areas.
Yeah, universal knowledge is that. It's universal. Right.
Thank you for speaking. No, you're too beautiful to sit in one spot.
I just wanted to say I enjoyed the entire presentation. What a great way to spend an afternoon. And one thing I really appreciated and would unify the room was when you pointed out when we were talking about beauty. Because that's a big issue about what's beautiful and what's not. And that really unified the room and pointed out all the beauty in it. And I think that's very powerful.
There's science in everything. Baby's phone. My sister, Escrow Shaw.
First of all, I'd just like to say that Sister Artist Lane, international artist, art sculpture, recently completed a piece for the Minnesota Park Museum. And you see her work everywhere, and I'm honored to have her with us and to have her become a part of our society. Yes. And the brother she mentioned, Jaimin, was the brother who starred in Amistad. So it's always good to know.
And he calls me mommy.
Because I'm always crossing the line from Hollywood, back and forth to the community, and it's always good to know that we have people working in Hollywood like Diamond who are dealing in this kind of consciousness and are doing some of that over here. Since this is called Kindred Spirits, my brother, I hope that each of you will look around the room, look at these faces, see somebody you don't know, make a connection. Because sometimes you're sitting in your wherever saying, I need to talk to somebody who's thinking on the same plane I'm thinking. Or I need to get the name of that book, or I need somebody to give me a little help right now. And sometimes you're not necessarily sure who to turn to. And there are kindred spirits in this room. And I think the way we expand the circle is to look into each other and get to know each other and make those exchanges and make those connections. Because you know who to call next time. You know who to invite in the circle to get into the thing.
On that note, let's just go around right quick and introduce yourself. What's your name? At least we would know your name.
Speaking is important. Speaking your name, whether y'all memorize the name or not, is important because it puts it in your mind and you have it. So us being together here, everyone speaking the name, puts us together as one.
So, I'm DC saying.
Queen?
Joanne Spears?
Michael D. McCarty, storyteller, half mouth, Will Wright.
I am Maria.
I am Margot Thomas.
I am John Beatty.
I'm Derek. I call myself Nomad.
I am Penny.
Hi,
Way to speak up, little brother. Yeah, give him a hand. Little brother, speak up. Yes, this bookstore is named after you. Listen. Ashe.
Those are my sisters.
All the way back in the back at the table, what is your name? Asha. My brother. This brother who is a poet, economist, mathematician, physician, lover, father. What's your name? Sally. Carolyn? Karen Lloyd? Kamal. Okay, Kamal pulled me over here and made me choose you. Okay? When I was over there and you were looking over that way, you was like, so you didn't see him. So I'm blocking this front right now, letting you know, okay? So now you know. Oh, I should have. And Destin and UL. Thelma. Tiger Woman. Pam. Anne-Marie. Avila Mayat. Tati, oh, way to speak up, baby. I like that. Yeah. Nia. Shupabu. Kapele. Rashidi. B.Y.S. Sarah. Lance. Ryder. You gotta stand up because you just made that sister some money. What's your name?
Marie from 2000 Bookstore in Long Beach.
You remember Marie's name. You never forget that. Grover. Both his wife, husband. You go all the way in the back. Right up here.
That hide in the back.
Way in the back. In the purple. What's your name? Cheryl. This is this handsome young man right here who looks probably just like your daddy. What's your name?
Eric Sears Jr.
My son. My teenage daughter. Say your name. Erica. And your name, sister? Valerie McCarty. Wife of half mouth will run it like a car. Melanie. Chalisa. Mama Fati. Fati, you ain't gonna speak today? Well, you gonna speak for Fati, huh? What's your name? See?
Samantha, this is Kush.
Samantha and Kush. Beautiful name for a child.
Shamake.
Shamake? Cora? Who's that on the camera? That's the name of my instrument. It's called the Cora. On the camera is?
Tamiza.
Tamiza, whose daughter is it?
God DC.
And
She just recently graduated from Long Beach State Film School. You know how hard it is to get into the industry, so anybody got any leads, let us know. Any final comments?
any final comments before we close out? Yes, sister.
It's my pleasure to be here. I'm also in the Grassroots Center and Quackanola Program. I was very pleased to be here,
fill you up. So, story, that's one. What else?
I wanted some more dancing.
Some more dancing. Okay, what else?
I want that DC to bring it down a notch, for people that ain't reached this level yet.
Okay. So, because everyone needs to hear. So you want more storytelling, you want more dancing, more drumming, you want that DC to bring it down a notch. Okay, is there anything else?
I think I'll be fulfilled.
Then you will be fulfilled. This is very important because we serve everybody, but we have a problem serving one another. There is no way that we will have another one, and we will not serve the shoe the way you would want to be served. There will be another story. There will be more drumming. There will be more singing. I don't know about bringing that DC down a notch. That's something you may just have to live by and bring y'all up. But no, thank you for the honest and sincere input. Thank you for that input.
But you know what that? Every Monday night, 7 o'clock at Christ Unity, I teach a class. It's more on the applied side. Every Thursday night at the Cultural Center, last 5 years,
I know that.
we teach it now. But it's through repetition and reiteration. He made a comment, we start out as fools and become wise through experience. We're so used to thinking in our concrete mind that when we're called on to stretch, it's not easy. So many times, we run away from thick books. That's why I'm putting those booklets out, small books, with pictures. No, but what I'm saying is, we all were there. We all were confused. Sometimes we still get confused at different times. But you got to keep coming. Second, we have a dance class every Saturday at Homeland. It's like $5 for sometimes 2.5 hours. You will be thoroughly full when you leave.
I know that.
Right.
All that.
And we hear you on that too. We hear you on that.
Talk about now. Come on, right.
We're limited on time, I know. But there's something we want to do. Did anyone have any more questions or comments that they wanted to say? Brother, you come up here. This is about everybody. Now, this is a spoken word artist. He's going to close it for us if y'all don't mind. Y'all mind? No. He's just coming up. Everybody has their questions. This brother, yes, sir. No. We only have a couple minutes.
Yeah, I just want to comment on how much I enjoyed the presentation. I always enjoyed the DC and the group's presentation. It's interesting that this is the first presentation at this venue, and Dr. McGon has been like kind of like in limbo for the last 6 months or so. He's thinking about starting up again, so he asked me to get in touch with some of the old soul and spiritual waters that he had taught over the last several years, and he wants them to give him a call and see if he wants to start lecturing again, maybe once a month or whatever they feel like doing. So, you have his number, anyone who has any metaphysical knowledge and anything on the offer as far as cult studies and so forth. The number's available.
Everybody make sure you're on the mailing list because we will be sending things out on a regular basis.
Any other questions or comments? Go ahead. Oh, yeah. Oh, all the time, all the way through. Yeah.
So they can visit, get up and dance.
But you know what? If we start dancing, it ain't going to stop. You know that, don't you? And that's one of the things that we need to be doing as part of Gathering of Kindred Spirits. Whenever we go and we do performances, the way we usually end our performances, we make everybody get up. Whether we're at Boeing or at elementary school, or no matter where we're at, we make everybody get up. But because of time constraints, I think we have 10 minutes to get out of here?
Yes. Well, I know we're limited for time, so I'll make it quick. I just
My name is Halee. Well, this poem is dedicated to Brother Dadisi and Brother Ashababa, who really taught me the importance of realizing your full potential and don't be afraid to let yourself go and to unify the one. And this poem's titled, The Garden of Eden for a Would-Be Revolutionary. Boy, you had to turn into a man. Grandfathers, I'm doing the best I can. I don't want to see tomorrow, no, 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 not going to be like yesterday. Teardrops disintegrate like days sent away. As I live in this inhibited garden, I'm incarcerated by the prison of self, sentenced by self, and convicted by self. Boy, you have to be a man. My eyes are my prison gates, stone bar lashes, flashes freedom. My eyelashes are my prison gates. I'm constantly awake inside my cell, constantly thinking, how can I open these bars and feed my garden? My mind is the warden who talks to me. You ain't going nowhere, boy. You ain't going nowhere, boy. Nowhere. Boy, you have to turn into a man. Grandfathers, I'm doing the best I can. Inside my solitary confinement, I am solitary confined by the entrapped mind. Inside my cell, I hang memories on my walls to cover the present. I may try to escape, but I was ultimately caught back, brought to back to that fantasy when I saw glimpses of reality, and I couldn't handle that actuality. In the silence of my cell, I close my eyes and I can hear my grandfather's spirit. Boy, you have to turn into a man. Grandfathers, I'm doing the best I can. I can see them, I can feel them, I can hear them. Some with rope nooses choking their neck, other with bullet hole penetrations. Most with that look, it took this to get that, and the physical is not really physical, and death is only illusion, because life happens after death. I try to awake, because this can't be my fate. There's nothing to fight for no more. The war is over, nobody's living no more. And then they come near me, they're approaching me. I try to open my eyes, but my bars are locked. They're humming the chorus, boy, you have to turn into a man. Grandfather, I hear you, but I'm so afraid of your call. These walls is all that I have. The law of my soul convicts me every time. I have a lifetime sentence. Is following you my salvation? Are you my repentance? I'm imprisoned in this fragile garden. My belt is my soul. Tell me, grandfathers, how do I pay this toll? Grandpa Malcolm, you was shot. Grandpa Martin, you was shot. Grandpa Stephen, you was beaten. Is this the price you had to pay? Your soul? You had to be free? Warden, let me be. My possibilities, let me be. I'm no longer waiting for the possibilities of parole to see. Release me. Let my soul configure into a key and release me from this intuitive institution. Unlock these mental gates that cover my eyes like shrubbery. I want to be free. I want to be free. I want to once again feel the sun in my clouded hair. I want the sun to restore my soiled soul. I want to uproot my eyes, replant them in the bed of my sockets, have them dilate to a bloom when the sun reaches high noon. I want to turn my eyelashes to stems that move according to the wind. I want to be free. I want to be free. I want to regrow my Garden of Eden, weeding out doubts of insecurity, securing my ancestry, but not neglecting my history, following their acts of reciprocity, feeding them as they feed me, keeping alive their garden, so I won't have to hunt my grandchildren. Thank you.
Y'all don't tell me that don't deserve a standing ovation.